Hey guys, Comic Uno. Today I'm doing a review for Aquaman issue 16, and this is, I think, the last part where we're getting Aquaman Throne of Atlantis tie-in with this series, and I think the conclusion is in Justice League. Let me just see. Yeah, concludes in Justice League. So this is the last time. If you're not picking up this series, which I'm not usually, I'm just picking up for the tie-in. So if you're not picking up the series and you don't love Aquaman, this could be the last Aquaman issue you could pick up for the Throne of Atlantis story. But before I start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a little update. I have two reviews that I usually do on Comic Uno that I did on DarkAvengerINC this week, which were Flash issue 16 and Arrow issue 3. But let's talk about what I'm reviewing today is Aquaman issue 16, which again is a Throne of Atlantis tie-in. The cover, yeah, it's pretty okay. I like the art for it. I really like the art for Aquaman. It's actually was really good in this issue. And yeah, the concept is pretty good. We get to see these fish people attack the Justice League, and that's what happens in this issue. But let's talk about the story. Let's see what happens. Cyborg, he's being rebooted. We get to see he likes this girl, but obviously he can't really get close to this girl because he's a robot. He kind of wishes he was human. We get to see a little bit of that, and you get to see his dreams in this issue. We get to see Aquaman. He is not on the Atlantis side. It did seem like he was, but he's not. He's just trying to help the Justice League. And there's these alien fish people that look exactly like the Rise of the Third Army. Just saying, attacking Aquaman and the whole Justice League. And just tell me if I'm the only one that thinks they look exactly like the monsters from, well, the aliens from Rise of the Third Army, because I think they look exactly the same. So we get to see Aquaman, he's fighting underwater, and he's worrying about his brother, saying, oh, he's going to take over Atlantis. We get to see the Reserve Justice League. They're trying, you know, clear up, I think it's Gotham they were in, or Metropolis, one of those places. They're just trying to clear up everything on the land, pretty much. We get to see these scientists who was kind of second command for Aquaman. He's like, oh, well, he deserved me on the throne, and now he has power in the end, and he's the guy who's got to be watched. Yeah, so that's pretty much what happened. It really just continues the story from last issue from Justice League. Honestly, I felt like Throne of Atlantis had so much hype, and it was like their big event, you know? But honestly, if you're not an Aquaman fan, if you haven't been following the series, I feel like it's not that interesting. I felt like it really didn't have to do this tie-in. It could have stayed in Aquaman and maybe been a bigger story arc in that series, because for the Justice League fans that are just picking up because of Justice League, it's kind of on the boring side, especially if you're not into Aquaman. For me, I really don't like Aquaman that much. I've tried to get into the series, I just don't like him that much. I don't like his stories that much. Not saying he's a bad character, I see why people do like him. I just never could get into him, and I honestly just don't like water superheroes. I never have. I don't like Namor, I don't like Aquaman. I know, I tried getting into these characters, but I never could. So, getting this Justice League story arc, I really wasn't excited for it, but the first two issues, it was better than what we've been getting with Justice League. I'm gonna say that. Throne of Atlantis is better, but it's nothing that big. You know, we get to see, I think it's very big for Aquaman, but honestly, it's not that big for Justice League. And you could have just had the Justice League in the Aquaman series and made that longer, but I feel like they're just trying to do it for sales, and that's it. And you can obviously see that, because you really did not need the whole tie-in stuff. It's bothersome to the people that just like Justice League. I feel, for me at least, I only picked it up because I wanted to pick up Shazam, honestly. And I didn't want to be lost and just say, oh, wow, I don't know what's going on. So I picked it up, and I didn't think it's bad. I really don't. It's just, again, if you're not into the whole water thing, it's not that interesting. The one thing I did like about this issue, though, is that I feel like this is developing Aquaman's character a little bit, and we get to see, oh, well, he's on the Justice League's team. We get to see their characters kind of develop towards each other a little bit more, and I think a complaint I always had in the beginning of Justice League is that these characters don't have chemistry like the Justice League used to have. That is a team that should have chemistry, and we're starting to see that a little bit more. I mean, obviously it's not there yet, but we get to see that a little more in this issue. We get to see our characters a little bit more in this issue and in this story arc. And I think it is a more interesting story arc than we have had in the past, but again, it's Aquaman's story arc, so if you're not into Aquaman, you're not going to like it. It's not going to, I don't think it's going to really sway you to become an Aquaman fan. It's just like, you are an Aquaman fan or you're not. And this story arc is not going to make new Aquaman fans unless you really never heard of Aquaman and you're like, ooh, I like fish, you know, and I like water, you know, superheroes, then you're going to like it. But if you read Aquaman before, and you're not going to, like, again, be swayed to like Aquaman in this issue. And again, I felt like nothing really, I mean, yes, we get to see this new guy. He's this king person, which I thought was really random. And we get to see the Justice League Reserve people, which I thought was very interesting. And I was kind of excited from the last issue to get, and I think that was something I was excited to see with this issue, was the whole Reserve and see what they do with that. And I think with this conclusion is going to be going into Justice League of America, making another team. I think we're going to see more of that, and I'm hoping we see more of that. I'm hoping this conclusion actually is like, oh, this is why we did this. You know, this is why we connected to Justice League. I'm hoping it's for a reason. One thing I was amazed by, though, was the art and the underwater art. I think that's why I'm giving this a little bit higher grade, because the art was really amazing in this, honestly. I think there was like a spread here also. That was really cool. Yeah, here. It's amazing art. It really is. That's why I'm going to give this a little higher grade. I am going to give it a 3.5 because obviously you're towards the end already. If you stuck around with the series, you're going to want to pick up this issue. It's just, it continues what we've been reading. And honestly, if you haven't picked up this, listen to my words. You like Aquaman, if you do, pick it up. And if you're reading this series and Justice League, then it's not a problem. I think you're going to really like it. So I think this is for the fans that are reading both series and really enjoying both series. But for the fans that are just picking up Justice League and kind of hanging on to it, for me, I'm just hanging on to it. It's like one of those series that I'm not in love with. It's always kind of towards the end of my pile. But for some reason, I can't let go of it because it is the Justice League and I have so much hope for it. And it's Jeff Johns, too. Like, he writes stories that are good and sometimes bad. And with Justice League, it's like, it's like one of the, again, it's one of those series I'm just holding on to for some reason, just because I care so much about the characters. So yeah, I think, again, if you've been reading Throne of Atlantis, you know, pick it up. It's nothing special, though. I mean, it's nothing like, oh, wow, this is why the story arc happened. It's nothing like that. It's like, it's an okay issue. I'm going to give it 3.5 if you love art, really good art in this. So, I give it 3.5. I say, again, depends on your situation, if you want to pick it up or not. But this is Comic Uno. Hope you guys enjoyed. And, guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and their ad situations. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.